Recording in progress. Can I talk to us?
We established this a few weeks ago. We put it in my head. And we put it together about 5-6 weeks ago. And just in that conversation, we decided that the first thing that out here is that a couple projects we really needed him to work on. Number one, the IT, cyber attack, trying to get us out of that bind, and then, get the Christmas Park advisory thing going. And, so he did that. And, so he's kind of left with, really in need of what is our guidance, what are our priorities moving forward, and that helped him determine what he does day by day. So we've never had that conversation. Is it housing? Is it communications? What is that? And eventually we want to tie that to potentially, bonus or salary or whatever, so that he knows, hey, I gotta do these things. If I do these things, here's what I can expect. Now, my impression of you is you're not necessarily money driven, so I don't know that that's where this is going as much as I think today, if we could just have a discussion over, where are our struggles, where do we want our city administration spending this time. He is outstanding, and I think when I agree, if we throw something out there to him, he's going to go out there and get it, bring it back. We gotta be the ones to go out there and say, here are the 5 things we're throwing out there. We want these 5 things back. If we don't, he's gonna be left to get, like, what are those things they want back? So I guess we could just start with, whoever wants to contribute first, and we can go from there. Do you want to go first? Yeah. No, we might have other meetings. But I think, just beginning the discussion. What are your thoughts? Well, I don't know that I have thoughts that. That's correct. Other cities in greater city manager performance and hours, which means for employees, which really work for this evaluation. I do like the one compare. It's pretty simple, but direct and pretty comprehensive. There's some things that I would like to expand on about it, but I think we're going to, develop a checklist basically for your part. I think that one might be pretty good thing to start. Often you can tell that they are thinking a little more higher level, or need a manager more of a overall leader of the city, I think, than more of a figurehead, I think. So there's kind of worded that way. It's pretty clever in that a little more than what we need, but that's a good thought. But as far as real goals, I had that really build on that. We had a few outstanding things. We had projects ongoing. Mostly what I rely on for is financial stuff. And day-to-day working at the city. So that's what I like to focus on more. And because those are my strengths, those are the things that I want to do as a city council member, is manage the budget and manage the employees. So, my kind of goals are more around that and making sure that you are taking care of us financially, making sure that we're not doing something ourselves that are not financially responsible. So those are kind of the big things that I want from you. And then, like I said, we got a number of projects we may take off there, and really construction projects and thinking, but we also have you know, you're having an assessment tool that you're working on, I think it's gonna give us some good information when that's done. We want to see you finish that and make that something that we can use. Or, your thoughts about personnel stuff?
Exactly, I didn't, that's what we're talking about, is what we wanted to do.
His priorities, yeah, like if you were to say,
Let's save money. And, you know, try to keep the employees that we got, if we can, going and get new ones, you know, and keep the city rolling as smooth as possible and no big, you know, weird stuff. More money that you didn't have and don't,
I can agree with that.
you know, just. What I kind of worry about.
All right, Justin?
I think I would agree with that, because the unemployment is I've done a great job building up our trust in him. So he's very transparent and going, and I think that goes a long way to us to know that he's taking care of us. Us and the city.
What about other things that are like, things you're already doing? But maybe we need some more organized effort is going through the code and ordinances and evaluating for what makes sense today, where there's old that needs to be thrown out or revamped. And you're doing that, you know, kind of piecemeal as it comes up. And maybe when you get more time, you take more of an organized. Let's start at A or and through it. And we did play handbook and that sort of thing too, but I think Rusty intended to overhaul. It's some and maybe some of the kids, maybe some was wasn't. But you know, and you're working on all that. And you know, redefining the roles of people, which is fine. I think that what you've done maybe gives people employees a little better idea of how they can advance and what they can do, you know, to be satisfied in their job. But yeah, I kind of said, employee retention and employee, bringing new employees on. There's also a big effort when you do anything happen. Sally, what about you?
I have him every day.
Right.
We have very direct conversations every day about like how we feel about things, what we expect of things, and we work together on things every day. So I don't really have anything specific as far as like evaluation goes, like hopefully here, I don't know. We kind of evaluate each other. Yeah, I appreciate each other doing things every day. So yeah.
Some department heads know that they want to make sure that they wanted me to verbalize that they want their input on my evaluation as well. And I'm open to that. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if you want them to use that form, but I just know that they work with us every day.
We have like all of us supervisors, but you fill out the evaluation form, how we use our employees, like some of our staff. And you go to work for Dustin and I think we can file it and then present it to Dustin. That's kind of how we all have evaluated our city administration in the past. So that's just what's been done before.
Just so you know, you'll be doing that next month. I'm just adhering to what's already written, but I've tasked the staff to do quarterly evaluations of their staff, and I have done it for them just to keep that communication piece going. And I was hoping that Callie could help me facilitate doing that on me as well. And then I can present that to Cal. She can present those results to me in council. So,
What's that?
Department is what we do typically.
You think every employee maybe you don't have to.
Yeah, a lot of them don't want to put directly with him, so they don't probably even know what to put, you know.
I got
I don't think very big things is what you get from those staff that don't work directly with him.
right. Nice to see whether we actually look at something like that. I like that. So the department doesn't come out. Okay,
The individuals, the compile,
individual,
individuals.
and they know it's incompetence. That's a pretty good idea.
They do them, but some of them put their names in and some of them don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? But some of the partners don't always put their names to them, so, like, I don't know, sometimes it's against those that roots for them, sometimes they don't, so.
Right, you like that, Jessica?
So this would be something I would need to know, I guess, if you want their names on them. So you could go directly to them if you like. Because some of us do and some of us don't. Preference on that?
The more than that.
Okay, they can solve the rest of it.
Survey monkey, not even eat that handwriting. They don't sit there.
You might get better stuff with them, you know.
You get that back to them.
Yeah.
I think we're going
Right,
to. Okay.
that's who, yeah, nobody ever sees them except for hey, that. You would
Right.
sealed to you, okay, so not for me. So you guys will present it to him, this is me presenting it to him. Okay, so you don't want any evaluation to go through our office at all. Okay.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
So totally anonymous, nobody thinks, they take it, steal it, we get it. What we share with him is what we decide because they're going to buy.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. They were kind of investing there really.
Yeah, I agree.
How we can keep.
I usually just like we directly put like, it's pretty much just a copy and paste situation where you just copy and paste whatever they said and just compile it into one big. one. Doesn't get like changed or anything necessarily, it's just like, just put it all. Typically, it's what we do, so.
Yeah.
That's gonna make,
When is, I mean, this would go right back to when we hired her. When is this evaluation? Is it next year? It's next year.
This year.
this year,
That's not much.
that'll be 1 year.
Oh, what's going to be right? What is it, May or yeah, so somehow. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go back to. You could Callie get us a copy of exactly what the verbiage was with that. I mean, I can't remember. It was a year ago, like, yeah. Can anybody remember the top of the head of the thing? Yeah, we can see that as it's coming up in 90 days.
Yeah.
We start thinking about this is the perfect time, so. All right, what tools do you need? Dustin, if you were to say, man, I wish I had this, I could, I could be more efficient, or what are you lacking?
Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I have a good working relationship with all of you. I feel pretty blessed. And considering where I came from, I'd say I'm extremely blessed. Y'all have been very supportive. Everything I've needed, I've come to ask you, and y'all have been responsive. So from my perspective, just continue to let me do my job. That's really what I need from you. I'm going to be there as a guiding post, when I bring stuff to your attention. Y'all have been pretty responsive. I mean, I have no complaints.
Even in 9 months and are things settling down, in your opinion?
Yeah, they are. We're getting into a rhythm, and I appreciate your support. I can't tell you how amazing it is because I remember what it's like not to have it. I appreciate what I've got.
Anybody else have anything that they can think of that? What do we want to use more for, kind of want to do our that? What do you want to do?
I don't know. What an HR person.
Yeah,
We had some kind of.
I did, what I just told you about the past, I see. Um, but, also wasn't clear. I think it's clear that.
Some of the scorecard be like, professional and all that.
I can give you the full number that I think you're
Whatever.
Homeworkers. Go through those before the next. When it's all been pinned down. Well, it's one of them is better than the other, but. We have something completely different. No, ours is not. Work quality for. A little bit leaning on the details. Now, we gotta come up with a scorecard for them. And we could theoretically, if you could do Callie's call John Deere off. And just, I'm sure he's, these things. You know, maybe. Yeah, I guarantee you. Pull it up in 10 seconds.
And the league is also the Fistula as well.
I would call them immediately, just find out and then shoot us an email with some other options.
One of the evaluation forms I got directly from my CMA's website. I think it's the one you like that I got.
Right. Yeah, so we'll have a scorecard, we'll have evaluations from the department heads. And then do we want to, after we see all this stuff, maybe in another meeting, assign numbers? Or do you have to back yourself into a corner like that? You do? So we could, before August, say, all right, if you get a 95 or greater, that's $10. Because we'd be predetermining. Which is a little dangerous. I mean, we gotta balance the numbers with the emotion. You know what I mean? Because that day is gonna be emotional, we're all gonna be whatever mood we're in. But if that's, but if we have to have the numbers for them, but do we want to back ourselves in the corner and say, if you get this,
I have an idea. Just hold me to the same standards that I'm gonna be asking the whole staff. So here's the idea I'm pitching based on your merit language in the personnel manual. I'm requesting preliminarily 5% this year for employee potential raises.
right?
But embedded in that, based on the form I gave you, it's a scorecard. I think I've shown you all this individually, but it's a scorecard, and based on their average score will determine the percentage for the year. So if you score me the same way and just hold the same standards to me, like 5% or whatever you do, just so I'm in line with the staff. Granted, I love Bill's and Melissa's just as much as the next person, but it also assist me in the leadership piece, but I'm up to the same standard that we're holding. So it's an idea.
Yeah, that is an idea, it's possible. I think the thing you got to do is that it's still a lot of lots out there. I mean, this is something probably common sense. Lions lost their city administrator, they fired the one in Hutchinson. It's the one less. The one less is like, so I mean, we want to make sure Dustin is well compensated that, 2 or 3 years, some of this will swoop in, and it takes a lot of time and energy to build somebody up and to hire them, to get them used to it, and that's my one regret with Rusty is that I don't think we ever had a chance to just sit down and talk about what can we do. It was just like we took the job and that was it. And it was reported to me how much more money could make, and my conversation with him was, did you even ask? There was no asking. I really don't want to get in that corner, and I really want to prevent that from happening as much as possible.
Well, I also think too, the IOU is your administrator to communicate with all of you.
Sure.
If I do have an issue.
Sure. But I guess what I'm saying is we can control, you can control us, we can control you, we can't control the outside world.
Yes.
And I think the outside world, I think you're doing a good job, and I think that they get desperate and they're willing to throw some money around, and we want to make sure that we protect our investment.
Well, you've also got the added bonus that my wife was pretty much threatening me.
Anyway, that's just, I think the only thing for me that, I think it shows up so many different ways that we just have this problem with volunteers with Cowtown. We don't communicate well. So I think that you can collaborate with Stacy and with the Citizens Lab. That software, we talked about a kiosk downstairs, something better than the owl, because we're giving out a lot of information. We're telling people, we're talking about, the water watch, we're talking about Cowtown, we're talking about, critical things, and they're not getting the information. This is a funny story, but during the boil alert, some friends of mine said that they were in their house and their family was next door to them, and they were inviting them over for dinner, and it's like they were drinking the water. They had no idea there was boil alert. They weren't on Facebook, they had no idea. So all those days they were just drinking the water. It made me realize, wow, we gotta do a better job. How do we do that? I don't know, but I think trying to solve that starts to solve. Like, if you don't know it's a volunteer opportunity, you can't volunteer. If you don't know this job available to run for office, you're not gonna run. So we see that gap, all the time, and it's like, it's kind of cheap. If we could start to solve that, you have your critical advisory council, right? If you think about it, those are awesome people, but they're the same people that are coming here, right? There's a few extra. Yeah, good. But the more we get that out there, the more you see that. So I think we start to harness all the work that we do, and it's just cheap, some of the stuff is just pennies on the dollar.
There is, and I've responded to that critique. Like, for one, I do have a growing email list that I owe people that an email in the next day or so, but I got that list of people, and I'm adding people as I talk to them. That's number one.
Right.
So when it comes to water updates and stuff, I start sending those out. I sent out an email to those list of people saying, hey, this is a draft of our current
You are doing well.
FEMA. Then we've also got, our town hall meetings that we're doing. I try to reach out to your constituents, like senior center, through, the event of re-engaging with people in that area.
Yeah.
We are getting better.
Yeah, I think you are getting better. I think that, it's cheap, it's inexpensive stuff, but, volunteers are critical for your the fair is for that, right? You rely on volunteers to help you with that. Those are the here, but what happened? Right. I mean, everything, fire department, everything relies on that, so people have to know that. So we can't assume everybody's like, oh, they're not interested. I think part of it is they just don't know. And we are that central point where they're looking to us. Like, hey, they're looking at us for things. There's nobody else out there. It's just us.
So what you're saying, Mayor, that is one of your tasks that you want me to work on, is the communication piece?
I think if you do that, you're gonna see a lot of changes occur. We've all been in meetings, and this comes up again and again. We talk about ministerial alliance. We think about it. We had no idea how to handle that one situation that we had about 6 weeks ago. We had to figure it all out. So there you go. We didn't even know how to do it. So we would take that in our communication tool and say, if you have problems paying utilities, here it is. And we didn't know, and we had to figure it out, but it took a lot of meetings, and we talked to Stacy, and it's like, so that kind of information, boom, it's right there.
But did you see my email this week? I hope most of you did, where I compiled that list and I'm giving it to Callie, and we are going to post that on our website.
There you go. Bingo.
We're gonna have it available when Angela and whoever's there with her has someone come in who needs help. They'll just,
There's no perfect, right?
So we are responding to your request and showing you that we're making effort towards that.
And I know we're not Overland Park, so I just happened to be, no, I don't know why I went there, I just got on their website and I was like, my gosh, they're doing exactly what we need to do, and of course, they're 10,000 times larger, they got budgets and. You know, I mean, they have mayor's weekly messages, things that we just, you know, we probably aren't gonna do, but man.
Mariners.
Yeah, it is, right.
That's true.
Right. Yeah, that was it.
There we go.
There you go, right. So what I'm saying is, when you go to a larger cities. They're doing the things that, you know, we. Kind of need to push in that direction, we're not large enough. You know, we have the resources they have, of course, but it's like, man, some of these ideas we have. They're doing them, it's like standard, so that's a good resource to go there and. You know, here it is, like, oh my gosh, you know, if you give them prompt paying utility bills, like it's right there.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Keegan was here last night and Wayne was gracious enough to join us and Mike Walsh was there with us as well and Karen was there. We had a really good discussion, but Keegan is pushing a lot of her clients, which includes us, towards the direction of those larger cities are doing, like housing.
Right.
Will help us solve a lot of those problems, and the more that we support housing in the area, the more resources we'll get, because companies actually look at cities and see what they're doing with code enforcement, for example, with housing availability, with you know, how we're treating our businesses, and you know, we are heading in that direction. Like Stacy and I are working together
Right.
on a lot of that stuff, and I try to support her. And
Sure.
like Andy, when he was talking to us, you know, he says a lot of people are leaving. I'm not even staying with them because of our restaurant availability. Well, if we don't have housing, restaurants, chains and whatnot are looking at their population centers and stuff like that. But we're doing the right thing. Sidewalk. It's something she mentioned last night. It's something we're doing right. You know, even though some of them are controversial, little projects like that are supporting our constituents and shifting that towards where we need to be so we can get more access to those resources we're talking about. We with our code enforcement and with our sidewalks, replacements and with the incentives, we can develop incentive packages, which she was talking about last night that y'all can approve to attract businesses. There's a number of tools that I will help you get there.
Right. I don't get a question.
Yeah, I just. Going on, I want to say this because I know it's citizens, but I've seen. And you're talking about communication with the public and getting that, okay, this is what we got. I never thought of doing something like Wilson does, they have that digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a picture of Garden Plains, had one right in front of their high school, it's awesome.
Yeah.
On the other side of Wichita, I took a picture and sent it to Dustin, so we could. We thought about that in the water wash, rather than something down in the lobby, just a digital sign out there, like they like to have at the Methodist Church. We could do that. We could also do it at the park, once we get the park squared away, so if people don't come downtown. They can see it up there, and then that would handle everything, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's price wise, I don't know. They're just really sharp, and I just, but you know, they probably got resources that we don't have.
And Keegan says too, with signage and stuff, that came up too, you know, some just basic signage, but she said there's some grants available that we can apply for, you know, to get signage as well to meet that demand. I would have to check with her.
Right. Even out there, you talked about it out there, Justin, even on the brick, I mean, it has to look good. It has to be placed just right, but you know, something, if everybody's confused, they're like, oh, what do? You just teach them, hey, just go by City Hall and you can figure it out, you know, so. I like it, I think it's, you know, it's something we have to budget for next year, but that would be a start. And it'll send a signal to the community, hey, we're trying to do this.
And there's other groups that we're involved in, you know, that I'm participating in. I've backed out of it a little bit, but because the CARE campaign has reaching some of the similar conclusions, you know, like we focused on suicide when we first kickstarted, but it's kind of expanding, and it's the same thing, increasing people's access to information.
Right.
So you know, and I'm helping with that as much as I can.
Right.
You know, so we the community is listening and we are getting more people involved.
Right.
As we go through this, like we're now working with Kansas folks. Help me out here, the central Kansas mental health partners. I know. Thank you. Well, I'm working with them now to help increase our mental health awareness along with because we have CARE campaign on behalf of veterans. So We're gonna continue to improve our communications
Yeah.
with the community. And maybe we can pull together and split costs for that sign too, to support all of these missions.
Right, but given the county, yeah, I don't think they have a sign. Not at all, that would be it over there, so yeah, I mean, anything like that first step, people. But yeah, when I heard they're drinking dirty water, I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. They're like, oh, I don't know what's going on, I'm like, what, but they weren't getting those tools that we were, they were just at home, so. Anyway.
I'll continue to work on that.
You have anything else, Jessica? When? Justin, what about you? You got anything you want to add to this conversation? Or?
I could talk for hours, Jim. No, I'm pretty happy with that my interactions with you and everybody. You all have been very supportive. I'm offering all the technical expertise that I can bring to the table. And I'm trying to position people to make your lives so that we can answer our constituents better, to answer the housing challenges that we have. Like the hat was the first step in that. I'm trying to work with all of our stakeholders, like the senior center, the library, the newspaper, all of our businesses and our constituents to try to make life better.
Great. But you guys be able to discussion at 6 o'clock, I figured we can spend 30 minutes. We can make some progress, we'll try to get a scorecard for them, we determined that the department has to send that stuff directly to us. You work with communication tools, maybe some visual type things,
Do you have a date? Or do you know yet?
or
The department heads, maybe give them to my.
I think it's a lot, right? Yeah. Probably the first meeting in July.
I'll just couple that with what we're doing with the staff.
10? That's the first meeting in July.
That sound good to you? Doable?
Cool with me.
That's still 5-6 weeks away.
Mhm.
Coming up. All right. Hey, no other questions, then go ahead and make a motion to adjourn. Councilor Coates has made a motion to adjourn. Councilor Christian has seconded the motion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. We are adjourned.
Thank you, council.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Also giving Karen maybe a monthly call.
I thought about doing that.
Give folks an idea, okay, we got this coming up, we got this coming up, we get to do this,
Yeah.
I feel like it's that tough for.